For the Mason Gross School of the Arts Commencement Convocation 2026. Please take a moment to look around for the nearest exit. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices. You are welcome to take photographs, however, we ask that you remain in your seat when doing so. Please do not stand in the aisles since you will obstruct the view of other patrons. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, we ask you to stand and greet the class of 2026, followed by the Mason Gross School of the Arts faculty.
afternoon, everyone. Please be seated. Distinguished faculty and staff, Provost Gary, members of the Board of Trustees, family and friends, and most of all, graduates, welcome to the 2026 Mason Gross School of the Arts Convocation Ceremony. You made it. I know that there have likely been many long nights these past 4 years, or fewer for some of you graduate students, or possibly more for those of you on the 5 or 6 year plan. But there have also been much to celebrate. I have thoroughly enjoyed all the many performances, many that I have seen this year, throughout the year, including Dance Plus, Don Giovanni, and Beethoven's Ninth with the Rutgers Symphony Orchestra, Kirkpatrick Choir, Voorhees Choir, Glee Club, Titus Andronicus at the Globe Theatre in London, New Lens Festival just last week, and all the fabulous gallery exhibitions in the Art and Design CSB Gallery. And with me at all of these shows has been your support network, your classmates, your roommates, your friends, and not least, your families. Graduates, please show some appreciation for all of them right now by giving them a round of applause. And once again, congratulations on all the wonderful art you have created this past year and the past 4 years. I would like to now welcome to the podium someone who is no stranger to this community. As the previous dean of Mason Gross and an accomplished musicologist and pianist himself, he knows well the journey that you have all been on. We are so pleased that he's here to join us and offer congratulatory remarks for you, the Mason Gross class of 2026. Please join me in welcoming Rutgers New Brunswick Provost Jason Geary.
Thank you. Good afternoon. You know, when I ended my time as dean last year to become provost, one of the things I knew I would miss most was presiding over this ceremony. In fact, even now, everywhere I go, especially this time of year, I run into people who tell me that of all the convocation ceremonies at Rutgers, this one's the best. So yes, this is the hottest commencement ticket on campus, and I'm thrilled to be on hand to celebrate with all of you. In fact, the last time I was up here, I got glitter bombed by one of the art and design graduates walking across the stage, so I'm happy that I get to sit back and take it all in while leaving Dean Bredehoft in the splash zone. Aside from hearing constant praise about Mason Gross and its commencement, one of the other things that becoming provost has afforded me is the opportunity to get a bird's eye view of Rutgers, New Brunswick, to better appreciate the breadth and magnitude of its varied schools, colleges, departments, programs, centers, and institutes. And while I had always been clear-eyed about the value of the arts and their importance within a large research institution like Rutgers, what I can say now is that I appreciate even more the role that artists and creative thinkers like you have to play in shaping the world around us. I'll share a brief anecdote to help illustrate my point. A few years back, I was attending a leadership retreat in Livingston Dining Commons. And during a break, several of us had occasion to look over the dining hall to see several students eating lunch as part of new student orientation. What struck us wasn't so much what the students were doing, but rather what they weren't doing. Nearly every one of them was on their phones, but despite being in such close physical proximity, they weren't actually talking to one another or engaging in any way. So naturally, us older adults bemoaned everything that was lost on the younger generation. But more than that, this image stuck with me because it felt like a metaphor for the world we live in today. That is, even as we devise ever more technologically sophisticated ways of connecting people from every corner of the globe, we somehow grow more and more divided, retreating out of fear and anxiety into isolation and resentment amid a society in which human interaction is increasingly virtual and superficial, or replaced altogether by chatbots and other forms of artificial intelligence. We live in a world shaped by algorithms that sort us into camps, feed us what we want to hear, and quietly discourage us from engaging with people who see the world differently than we do. And these days, we spend so much time worrying about how AI will replace jobs and what it can do to help society that we lose focus on all the things that AI can't do. It can't pick up a violin and play a melody that moves us to tears. It can't stand on a stage and reflect aspects of our own humanity back at us. It can't create a painting upon whose canvas we can literally see the physical traces of human creation that remind us of the richness and complexity of our individual and collective stories. You see, there's an immediacy to the work you do as artists and scholars that reminds us of what it truly means to be human. And that's where so often the world falls short. Because in forgetting that important human element, we risk losing our capacity for empathy, for genuinely understanding what it means to see the world through someone else's eyes. And that's the vital ingredient that's so sorely missing from our world today. So I'll leave you with this. Don't stop doing what you came here to do. Yes, the job market is tough. Yes, your career path may look different than you imagined. And yes, you may need to create pathways where none exist. But know this, the world needs you, and it needs your art more than it even knows. Congratulations, Mason Gross, class of 2026. Now go out there and leave your mark on the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Gary, for joining us today and sharing those very inspirational words. As I was preparing for this celebration today, I did think long and hard about the importance and significance of this moment in the world that you graduates are heading into. Right now, it probably feels overwhelming, daunting, and frankly, a bit scary. But then I consider what these past 4 years have been about. On the surface, it was to give you training necessary to excel in your chosen art form. And yes, this is indeed a significant part of your experience at Mason Gross, but it is also much more. I remember reading an article last year that listed skills presumably needed to be successful in any job, including in the arts, in today's marketplace. It included things like communication, teamwork and collaboration, professionalism, self-management and initiative, global fluency and perspective, and critical and creative thinking. I can say with confidence that each and every one of you has developed these skills during your time at Mason Gross. You know that communication is key. How many times have you heard, "Did you check your email?" And teamwork and collaboration are what Dr. Ordway, along with his guest instructors, taught you in that first semester in Interplay, whether you were ready to hear it or not. And for professionalism, showing up and engaging in the work, treating instructors and staff and fellow students with respect, understanding, requires you to embody professional behavior. In those days and weeks when you had more work than time, you were learning that self-management and initiative was required to organize how you were going to get all your homework done before you had to head to the studio or rehearsals. Global fluency and perspective are key to understanding and empathizing with the world around us. While some of you were able to study abroad, others learned this through their classes, which centered on global perspectives and broadened your view of what should be considered the canon in each of your artistic fields. And last, but certainly not least, is critical and creative thinking, which sits at the core of all artistic endeavors. If there is a skill you have developed most during your time at Mason Gross, it is this. But your education here at Rutgers is so much more than just learning these skills. Each and every one of you has learned how to work as artists, whether behind a camera or on a stage or in the studio. And you have learned how to be resilient and, more importantly, how to connect with others, developing a sense of collectiveness that will carry you farther than you could ever imagine. Because it is not what we do with our art, but how we do it, caring deeply about what we make and showing compassion to those we make it with. Even in the most challenging of times, and there will be many, we have learned that you cannot give up hope. But what you need to work through, we need to work through our art to make the world a better place. Many years ago, a colleague of ours in the theater department, the late scenic designer Michael Miller, coined a term that he called the Rutgers Guarantee. The Rutgers Guarantee is pretty simple. It means that completing your degree here gives you a lifetime customer service agreement of sorts. It means that you can get in touch with us at any time with questions you may have about your art, your career, anything. And remember that when you entered this auditorium, you were our students. When you leave it, you will be our colleagues. Your success is our success, and we hope you will continue to let us help you succeed, even though we may not be seeing you every day. Finally, please remember to laugh and take in the beauty around you, whether it is in the smile of the person sitting next to you, or the rain necessary to make the flowers bloom, or the artwork we choose to surround ourselves with. It is this art and storytelling that each of us, you, me, and the world, needs more than anything. Congratulations once more, and remember, you got this. And now it gives me a great pleasure to introduce to you a fellow graduating student who has been chosen to represent the class of 2026 to share some remarks with you. Madeline Hetrick is a filmmaker and writer from East Brunswick, New Jersey, graduating summa cum laude with a BFA in filmmaking and a BA in English. During her time at Rutgers, her work has been screened at multiple film festivals, and she has gained hands-on experience as a marketing and post-production intern at NBC News. As she prepares to graduate, she looks forward to continuing her career with a focus on writing, news, and production. Please welcome to the podium your Mason Gross Class of 2026 student speaker, Madeline Hetrick.
Good afternoon, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates. I am so honored and proud to be here with you all today. As a filmmaking and English double major, I've always had a strong passion for storytelling. And so naturally, I've known that I wanted to be the writer of my college's commencement speech since before I was even accepted into Rutgers. So to be standing in front of you all today is truly a dream come true. While this was a goal I've held on to for years, it actually took me until my senior year to decide what I wanted to write about. And like any other Gen Z, media-obsessed young adult, I discovered this idea the only way I know how: by lying in bed and scrolling through TikTok Reels. But before I get to that, I want to talk about the journey that led us all here today. Because if there is one thing I know as a Mason Gross student, it is that every single person graduating today has spent the last 4 years creating something. Our days have been filled with planning, ideating dances in Nicholas Hall, staying late at Bette Bender Plaza to free-flow new compositions, hovering over laptops to draft a script, gathering at Gibbons to perform monologues, blasting music while sketching at CSB. Then came production, where our ideas stepped into the real world, usually changing shape, usually surprising us, and definitely forcing us to problem solve in ways we did not anticipate. We collaborated across majors, forming connections that would lead to an array of creative outcomes. And then, of course, came the final product, where we reviewed what we made, found things we loved, found things we'd absolutely change, and then we started again. That's the cycle we all know. The process of being an artist, the process of being a student, honestly, the process of being a person. But what really struck me, and this is where that TikTok spiral comes back in, is how quickly we move from one challenge to the next without pausing. These videos that lit up my screen in the midst of my doom scrolling weren't funny clips or cute pets or alarmingly specific astrology videos. They were sentimental edits with gentle music and quotes that read, "Your normal day is someone else's dream life. And sometimes I forget I'm standing in the middle of my old dreams." And as cliche as this may sound, it truly hit me. Because sometimes we become so accustomed to finishing a project and immediately jumping to what's next that we forget to take the time to actually appreciate what we accomplished. We move on quickly and often forget to stop and say, wow, I did that. I made it through that. I'm proud of myself. I encourage you to think about who you were when you first came to Rutgers. Think about that version of you. Nervous, excited, maybe a little confused. Think about the people who got you here, the incredible faculty who advised and encouraged your work through countless classes and office hours, the supportive friends who were there to share in both the trials and the triumphs, the loving family who supported you throughout it all. Think about everything you didn't know yet, the challenges you'd face, the people who would shape you, the growth you'd undergo. And now look at you. Look at us, sitting here today, wearing those gowns we once imagined ourselves in. We're here. We did it. Those inspirational TikToks, as embarrassing as it may be to admit, reminded me that we are already living in moments that our past selves dreamed of, moments we once wished for, moments we worked incredibly hard to reach. And so before we sprint ahead into the future, into jobs, internships, grad school, or whatever else the world may throw our way, I hope we all pause. I hope we truly sit with the fact that we've accomplished something meaningful, that we've grown, that we've overcome things our past selves didn't know how to face yet, and that we have every reason to be proud of where we are sitting today. Because one day, years from now, you will look back and realize just how special this moment was. This seat, this ceremony, this chapter you earned through resilience, creativity, and determination. I'd like to wrap up by leaving you with a quote from one of our nation's wisest scholars, Ferris Bueller. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around every once in a while, you may miss it. So before we sprint ahead into the future, take a breath. Think of all the things you've achieved, the support you've received along the way, and the incredible world you have started to create for yourself. Because this is just the beginning. So to the class of 2026, congratulations. You've done more than you give yourself credit for, you've grown more than you realize, and whatever comes next, you are ready for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madeline, for your wonderful speech and words for your fellow students. Now, now I am very excited to introduce our next guest speaker today, who is an alumna of Mason Gross School of the Arts, Bianca Lee. Having received her BFA in theater and acting in 1984, she studied with esteemed faculty, including Catherine Gatley Poole, Bill Esper, Lloyd Williamson, Martin Waldron, Andrew Mendelsohn, and Hal Scott. She is also an acclaimed actor, singer, writer, and educator who has performed in multiple acting roles, including currently appearing as Louise, a role she originated in the Tony Award-winning Broadway production of Oh, Mary. Absolutely. Other acting roles include Mary Ellen in the groundbreaking film Transamerica, Franny Halcyon in Tales of a City, the musical, which was performed in concert at Music Box Theater, Tatiana and Paul Lucas's award-winning verbatim piece Transcripts at ART, Karma Johnstone in Hurricane Bianca, and Dr. Rachel Sandow in Law and Order SVU. As an advocate, Bianca also does presentations on trans healthcare at various medical schools, often in collaboration with her Mason Gross classmate, Isle Polanco. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Bianca Lee.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am honored to be here with you today. Graduates, I know all too well how hard you worked to get that diploma. Oh, yeah. I'll do my best to share a bit of wisdom, things you probably don't really want to hear, but may eventually benefit from, like notes from a director. I graduated from Mason Gross in 1984. I know. Graduation day, I had run out of contact lenses, so I had to wear my hideous middle school glasses. My dress pants were too short, high waters we used to call them, and something had possessed me to get a perm that spring. It wasn't a good one. Here we are, 42 years later, I know. I have new contact lenses, though I may need my readers at any moment. My clothing fits, thanks to Spanx, and that awful perm grew out years ago. But I still remember how I felt that day, the excitement and the terror. For 21 years, I've been told where to go and what to do, when and how to do it. That day, I was handed a diploma and pushed out into the world. Here's the rest of your life, good luck. Terrifying. As I type this, I am sitting off stage at the Lyceum Theater in my hoop skirt and corset between my scenes in Oh, Mary. It's okay to focus on this because I've done the play over 600 times and I think I finally have it down. I'm frantically trying to think of something profound to say. My partner, Joe, says, don't think of it as a convocation. Latin is inherently intimidating. Just talk to them. So let's talk. First, congratulations. You have earned that diploma, and you'll be paying it off for years to come. By the way, pay your student loans. You think you understand compound interest, but you don't, trust me. And if you can't pay the full amount every month, pay something. I am an actor, and that is where my experience, strength, and hopes lie. I ask patience of all you adorable painters and musicians and opera singers and dancers and multimedia mavens and filmmakers. I haven't forgotten you. In the BFA acting program, we learned Meisner technique, how to analyze a script, take direction, and work with a scene partner. We learned the history of the theater. We were classically trained, taught how to enunciate clearly and move with style and grace. At my best, my diction can cut glass, and I can run, spin, hop, and faint wearing a hoop skirt. And I get paid to do so. Because of Mason Gross, thank you. Our instructors inspired us to reach for excellence, to embrace truth, and to devote our lives to the work. What they forgot to tell us was to have fun. If you're not having fun, if there isn't joy along with the hard work, something's wrong. We were taught that mastering the basics was essential. It's a pain, it's boring, and repetitive. Semesters of life drawing, hours of singing scales, it makes all artists want to scream, but it pays off. Trust me. Don't forget the basics. There were issues with the program at the time. The pressure to break down in tears during acting exercises, the fear of being difficult to cast was overwhelming. As a queer kid, I was called into a meeting with senior staff and told that if I didn't straighten up, I'd never find work. Young women were told to lose weight, and anyone with Mediterranean coloring or features was told they were ethnic and destined to play the sassy best friend forever. Well, times change, and this July, Meg Stalter, a beautiful bisexual brunette woman of size, will be taking over the lead role of Mary Todd Lincoln in Oh, Mary. Out of about 45 people in our class, only 12 graduated. 3 of my classmates were dismissed from the program at the end of our junior year. That was wrong, and those women are owed an apology. The current drama department has done a great job in addressing past inequities. The current emphasis on inclusivity, the range of techniques being taught, and the focus on the ever-evolving nature of the industry are exactly what was needed. Thank you. After graduation, I went to New York with plans to become a great Shakespearean actress. Well, that didn't happen. In those days, mainstream theater and film would not hire trans actors unless they needed someone to play the tragic tranny, and then they'd wheel you out onto set like you were an exotic animal act. I found a welcoming place in downtown theater, that thin sliver of professional theater not subject to the immense pressures facing large commercial productions. La Mama, Theater for the New City, etc. I didn't completely understand experimental theater. I'm still not sure that setting a Chekhov play on the moon really adds anything, but sure, why not? I became part of a wonderful community of artists, and being in those downtown shows led to more shows and bigger parts, which eventually led to Broadway. I've been on network television and in an Oscar-nominated film. But along the way, I've also done stand-up and cabaret and sang on a box at the Stonewall Inn for $50 and a tray of shots. I may have go-go danced on a speaker. And I loved and learned from all of it. All of it is theater. Make every performance count. You never know who's sitting in the audience. Jeff Whitty, the librettist for Head Over Heels, saw me do a play in an East Village basement, and 5 years later, cast me in the workshop of a Broadway musical. Cola Scola watched me in Taylor Mack's The Lily's Revenge at Here Art Center, and I rattled around in the back of that fervently creative little brain for 20 years, and then he cast me in O'Mary. Go to each other's shows. Go to Lower East Side art openings. Enjoy the cheap wine. You may be chatting up the next Basquiat or Patti LuPone. I learned an important lesson in 1994. Hot Peaches, a legendary queer performance troupe that had been around since the early 70s, cast me in their new musical. The plan was to work out the kinks in New York, then tour Europe for the summer. But being in the New York production was no guarantee you'd go on the tour. So I worked my tuchus off, dissected the script down to the smallest detail, mapped out every action and tension and point of view, all that crap. I diligently did my emotional preparations. I sang like a bird because I wanted that tour. One day, the artistic director turned to me and said, "Oh, you think we're taking the best performers?" No, we're not judging you by your talent. We want to know if we can bear being stuck next to you in a broken down VW bus on the Autobahn waiting hours for help. People hire people whom they enjoy working with. Be a cool breeze. One thing I have learned on Broadway is that a great job, even a dream job, is still a job. 8 shows a week, 6 days a week is no picnic. I mean, it is a picnic. No. Is no joke. And that the people who pay you will pay you as little as possible for the maximum amount of work. A producer's job is not to spend money, and some of them are very good at it. But overall, it's a joy. I love it, and I look forward to working with some of you in the future. Just stay out of my light. Your friendships with your classmates, yes, these guys, will last a lifetime. And if you are easy to work with, you will build a network of colleagues that will inspire you, collaborate with you, and every once in a while, get you work. Yes, there is rivalry and pettiness in the arts, but far less than you'd think. Actors are good eggs, for the most part. When you begin to achieve your goals, you will be filled with excitement, followed very quickly by a sense of, that's it? That's it? That's normal. It's your psyche protecting itself from flying off into the stratosphere. A healthy, quiet sense of gratitude is the goal. Being able to do this for a living is a gift. Don't get me wrong. The business side of show business can be very, very tough, even brutal at times. That's why surrounding yourself with people whom you respect and have your best interests at heart is essential. Stick together. Diversity in theater has progressed considerably since I graduated. There have been major colorblind casting opportunities in the last few years, and Oh Mary, a show that until recently would never have been produced above 14th Street, is a big commercial success. We still have a long way to go. Actors of color, especially Black actors, still have to be nothing short of superb every single time. The number of female characters is still woefully inadequate, and queer actors continue to face exclusion and tragic tropes. But it has gotten better, due in large part to increasing diversity among writers, directors, and showrunners. And your generation will propel that progress even further. A few nuggets of practical advice. There is always someone younger, prettier, better connected, taller, thinner, with more hair or more followers on Instagram. Always. Oscar Wilde once said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is taken." Don't think of auditions as job interviews. Only one person can get the role out of hundreds who audition. Those are not great odds. What you can do is develop a relationship with casting directors, tape by tape. Show them who you are and what you can bring to any project. And eventually, a role will come up and a casting director will say, "You know who would be perfect for this? You." Don't forget to call your mother. Someone paid me $20 to say that. You are entering an arena where everyone is good. What they are looking for is a perfect fit, not just in the role, but within the cast. If you tower over the leading man, you're not getting the part. Don't take it personally. Nepotism is part of life. Get over it. There have been acting dynasties, families of painters, of musicians since the beginning. When I was growing up, you couldn't get into certain labor unions unless you had a relative in the union. But the definition of nepotism includes friends. Make friends. And eventually, you'll get a helping hand too. And somebody will bitch about that. Be an active participant in your own career. Write your own stuff. Collaborate. Go to open mics. Take classes. Do not sit by the phone waiting for it to ring. That goes for dating too. Don't be afraid to ask for more. For too many years, I thought I was only worthy of a small sliver of the pie. Ask for a big slice with ice cream. Ask for more. If you don't ask, you don't get. I still ask for a driver every time my contract comes up for renewal. They always say no, but I'm not going to give up. Lastly, I urge you to get a life. A full life. Your friends, your family, your future partners and children, they will sustain you. They will complete you before, during, and after success. They will remind you who you are, both when you fly and when you fall. And trust me, when success comes, it's a whirlwind. You can scarcely believe it's happening, and suddenly it's a memory. Make it a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Bianca, so much for coming to Mason Gross and for the amazing advice that you shared with us today. I want to move on to recognizing the crucial role that faculty plays in shaping our graduates. We take a few minutes during the ceremony to acknowledge the full-time faculty who are retiring from Mason Gross School of the Arts. Professor David Esbjornson is retiring after 14 years as a member of the theater department. Professor Esbjornson joined Mason Gross in 2012 as chair for the Department of Theater. He is an award-winning director. He has an impressive career with directing credits on Broadway and multiple regional companies from around the country and internationally. Although he is not able to join us today, we do wish him the very best in his upcoming retirement. At this time, we are going to move on to the departmental awards, which will be given out by the department chairs and directors. They will be assisted by Annabelle Liu, the Associate Dean for Finance and Administration at Mason Gross. The Department of Art and Design Awards will be presented by Jackie Thaw, Chair of the Department.
Hello, everyone. It is my honor to present the Department of Art and Design Awards. The Art and Design Award for Artistic Accomplishment in Art and Design goes to Tiana Pimentel. The Giza Daniels and Desha Award for Outstanding Performance in Art and Design goes to Hiral Parikh. The Betty M. Tatel Prize for Special Recognition in Visual Arts Thesis goes to Serena Sekalun. The Laurie Spitz Prize for Special Recognition in Design Thesis goes to Izzy Alvarez. The Techne Award for Outstanding Graduate Accomplishment goes to two people, Asam Kayalova and our other Techne Award recipient is Chu Tang. Our last award is the Bravero Photography Purchase Prize for Outstanding Performance in Art and Design to Andrew David Jarman.
Congratulations to all the Art and Design Award winners. And thank you, Professor Thaw. The Department of Dance Awards will be presented next by John Evans, Chair of the Department.
Good afternoon. The Department of Dance recognizes the following awards. The Marjorie J. Turner Choreography Prize for work exceptional group choreography goes to two students, Jaslyn Caracas. And Savannah Dans. The final award is the Dance Department Citizenship Award for demonstrating exceptional citizenship in the dance department. And we have two recipients, Victoria Piccolo and Joanna Marie Hennigan. Thank you.
Congratulations to our awardees for dance. And thank you, Professor Evans. The Filmmaking Program Awards will be presented by Patrick Stetner, Chair of the program.
The Department of Filmmaking recognizes the following awards. The Excellence in Filmmaking Award for overall distinction reflected in the student's body of work goes to Liadan O'Toole. The Creative Vision Award for a filmmaker whose work reflects a bold artistic vision goes to Colin Clark. And the Directorial Vision Award for a filmmaker whose directing demonstrates a distinct and developing voice goes to Jacob Alexo.
Congratulations to our filmmaking students. And thank you, Professor Stetner. The Department of Music Awards will be presented by Amanda Eubanks-Winkler, the director of the department.
Good afternoon. The Department of Music recognizes the following awards. The Irene Alm Memorial Prize for a graduating doctoral student for excellence in performance and scholarly research goes to Tanner Age. Tanner cannot be here today, so we accept the award on his behalf. The Arthur G. Humphrey Memorial Prize for a piano student for outstanding work in accompanying goes to Alex Yedidia. The Michael Fardink Memorial Award for an outstanding vocalist or accompanist goes to Kai Cleary. The Elizabeth Wyckoff Durham Award for academic distinction and excellence in keyboard performance goes to In-Fung Lee. We will make sure that In-Fung gets the award. The Ethel Gloria Kinney Memorial Prize for academic excellence and artistic accomplishment in jazz studies goes to Carlos Hernandez. The Music Department Award for Excellence in Undergraduate Performance goes to Ben Almazan. The Music Department Award for Excellence in Graduate Performance goes to Jared Apple. And finally, the Conrad A. Kvam Award in Performing Music for Excellence in Performance on a String Instrument goes to Amelia Cunningham.
Congratulations to our awardees in music. And thank you, Professor Eubanks-Winkler. Now we'll move on to the Department of Theater Awards, which will be presented by David Gordon, Chair of the department.
Good afternoon. The Theater Department recognizes the following awards. The Dr. Yaroslav and Grace Susan Boryan Prize for a graduating theater student with the highest GPA goes to Maya Strauss. The Theater Department Award for Outstanding Artistic Collaboration goes to Liv Reyes. And the final Theater Department Award, the Ghostlight Award, for those who embody service, citizenship, and community, goes to Maya Ramdale.
Congratulations to our theater students, and thank you, Professor Gordon. The school-wide Scott Caganello Memorial Prize will be presented by Lisa Sananjules, Assistant Dean for Advising and Student Success.
Thank you. The Scott Caganello Award goes to Kai Cleary. Kai is an educator, vocalist, and arranger, graduating with a Bachelor of Music degree in music education. As an avid singer and performer, Kai has performed as a chorist and a soloist with various ensembles at Rutgers University, such as the Kirkpatrick Choir, the Marching Scarlet Knights, the Rutgers Symphony Band, and Casual Harmony. Kai is also an active performer in the community throughout New Jersey, deeply devoted to servicing the Mason Gross community. Kai has held positions in the Mason Gross Student Government Association, the Rutgers Undergraduate Student Assembly, advocating always in the best interests of Mason Gross students. Kai is a dedicated member of the American Choral Directors Association and a National Association for Music Education, and presented at the 2026 NJMEA Conference in Atlantic City. After graduating, Kai will continue to be surrounded by music by becoming a choral music teacher, and hopes all can share in the passion that's been developed through the arts. Congratulations, Kai.
Congratulations, Kai, and thank you, Dean Sananjules. I am delighted to announce the next award on today's program, the Mason Gross Community and Belonging Award, presented to a member of our school who has had an extraordinary impact on fostering community and belonging. This year's award goes to Cassandra Oliveras Moreno. She is the dedicated administrator of communications and collaboration for the Department of Art and Design. Cassandra exemplifies commitment through her unwavering support and mentorship, positively impacting students, faculty, and staff, not only in her department, but across the countless programs that benefit from her dedication and leadership. Two key initiatives that she co-founded, the Rutgers Arts Network and Windows of Understanding, significantly enhance relationships on our campus and in the surrounding community. As one art and design student shared, Cassandra fosters environments where collaboration feels natural, where diverse perspectives are valued, and where creative practice is connected to broader social contexts. Please join me in our heartfelt gratitude and warm congratulations to Cassandra Oliveras Moreno for this very well-deserved award. We have one last set of school-wide prizes, the Mason Gross Commencement Convocation Mortarboard Awards. As schools sensitive to the nuances of art, we have two prizes. I ask for our incorruptible, unbiased judge, Professor Scott Wardway of the Music Department, to come and award these two outstanding mortarboard designs.
Good afternoon. I was asked to select a minimalist and a maximalist award.
Yeah.
I have not done that. I felt that minimalism was a bit cringe right at the moment, so I've gone for two maximalist awards. And these go to Rowan Slater and Kelly Gomez. Congratulations.
Congratulations on your designs for your mortarboards. And there will also be, those winners will receive a small gift after the ceremony. You can claim it in the dean's office. It is now my great pleasure to recognize the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degree from the class of 2026. The names will be read by Professor Marshall Jones, Associate Dean for Access for Mason Gross.
The following students are receiving Bachelor of Art in Art. Ariel Durier, BA, Art, summa cum laude, and honors. Erica Song-Yi Kwan. Amanda Liu, cum laude. Kelly Rosano, cum laude. Katrina Lee, summa cum laude. Carl Nathaniel Ramos Fernandez. Ricardo Bravo. The following students are receiving Bachelor of Art in Dance. Valentina Lorante Garcia, cum laude. Veronica Zambrano Villarillo. The following students are receiving Bachelor of Art in Music. Sarah Elizabeth Gardino, cum laude. Catherine Della Marced. Grace Bonanno. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Art in Theater. Jimena Torres, BA Theater, magna cum laude. Shannon Hoon, summa cum laude. Naeun Lee, cum laude. Kayla Lewis, magna cum laude. You look great, Kayla. Kayla Tooten, cum laude. Deborah Bivens, summa cum laude.
Before we continue with our celebrations, I want to take a pause to present a posthumous degree for Henna Aslam. An honors college student majoring in design with a minor in gender and media studies. She was tragically taken too early. Henna's impact on her classmates, faculty, and staff was immeasurable. Her artwork displayed a powerful voice that lives on. Henna's family is here today to receive her BFA degree in design from Mason Gross, along with her medal and stole from the Honors College. It is now my great honor to recognize those students from Mason Gross School of the Arts who have completed their work towards the Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees and the Bachelor of Music degrees from the class of 2026. These names will be read by Dean San Jules.
The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Design: Sky Jung, summa cum laude. Van Aline, summa cum laude. Sarah Lopez, summa cum laude. Colby Reed. Sarah Wessel, summa cum laude. Brittany Claiborne. Elise Al, summa cum laude. Jalen Brooks. Mansi Bat, magna cum laude. Isabella Alvarez, magna cum laude. Alexa Torrey, cum laude. Sopranika Kakadal. Elliot Dong, summa cum laude. Yasmin Alafi, summa cum laude. Josephine Estes, summa cum laude. Kachi Mali Fang, cum laude. Elizabeth Carlisle, summa cum laude. Yaching Law, summa cum laude. Ching Li Long, summa cum laude. Vigerlo, summa cum laude. Pamela Halbert, summa cum laude. Aviv Fox, cum laude. Masha Chibisovu. Chusava, sorry. Danya Tor, summa cum laude. Xantha Cronrath, cum laude. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Visual Arts. B. Abale, summa cum laude. Pamela Lopez Cruz, summa cum laude. Emily Lim, summa cum laude. Sarah Bucciagrossi, magna cum laude. Elena Phillips, magna cum laude. Jessica Vassler, summa cum laude. Isabel Schmid. Victoria DiMaggio, summa cum laude. Melanie Lopez, magna cum laude. Jahan Jadi. Veronica Shubiak, summa cum laude. Sebastian Okendo. Emma Shires. Marie Nicole Salud. Hira Parikh, magna cum laude. Serena Seychulun, summa cum laude. Tiana Pimentel, summa cum laude. Alyssa Hack. Loie Began, magna cum laude. Give a minute. These are our bags. Okay. Rowan Slater. Give me a minute. Loie, yes! Rowan Slater, cum laude. Dylan Chu? Yes. Okay. Dylan Chu, summa cum laude. Rushiga Sarveya, summa cum laude. Kelly Gomez, summa cum laude, Honors College. Layla Friedman, summa cum laude. Thank you. Micah Steinerman, summa cum laude. Harry Swindell, summa cum laude. Kuvalowicz, summa cum laude. Hello. Okay. Andrew Hargy, summa cum laude. Amaya Anderson, cum laude. Okay. Patrick McElroy, cum laude. Dayton McGeorge, summa cum laude. Catherine Rufano, summa cum laude. What about the man on your hat? That's his name? Jose Diaz, cum laude. Pranay Gomez. John Gonell, summa cum laude. Tamer Johnson, summa cum laude. Max Kanaska, summa cum laude. Ashton Jenkins, cum laude. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Dance. Sophia Nicholas, summa cum laude. Ariana Ruiz, magna cum laude. Isabella Colon, summa cum laude. Tabitha Bustos, magna cum laude. Martha Silva. Kay Senato. MJ Canzaneri, cum laude. Julia Master Stefano, summa cum laude. Trinity Corpy, magna cum laude. Erin Burns, magna cum laude. Got it. Savannah Dans, summa cum laude. Jaslyn Carreras, magna cum laude. Oh, I know you. Joanna Marie Hennigan, summa cum laude. Victoria Isabel Piccolo. Victoria Isabel Piccolo, summa cum laude. Mercedes Marie Figueroa. Okay. Mercedes Marie Figueroa. Kaylin Gilchrist, summa cum laude. Sean or Shane? Shane Johnson, magna cum laude. What happened? Okay. Your film? Okay. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Film. Katie Coe. Beck McCabe. Madeline Hetrick, summa cum laude. Miranda Hawes, cum laude. Nikita Thompson. You got it. Nathan Massarelli, cum laude. Jack Craig. I'll give you a second. Jack Craig, magna cum laude. Corbin Brito, cum laude. Am I yelling? Siobhan. Siobhan O'Hay, summa cum laude. Morgan Kombach. Morgan Kombach, summa cum laude. Boylan. Sarah Boylan, summa cum laude. Ryan Turano. Jonah Sun. Mishley Nelson, magna cum laude. Soul. Charles Andrew Soul. Leodon O'Toole, summa cum laude. Colin Clark, cum laude. Jacob Alexo. Andrew Eaton, cum laude. Alessandra Kirk, magna cum laude. Dylan Mesquita, cum laude. Say it again. AJ Alawalia. Veniza Shaw. Vedanti Patel, magna cum laude. Okay. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Music in Music. Clara Marie Melvin. Antonio Guzman, magna cum laude. Okay. Jackson Flower. Edward Crisanino, summa cum laude. Kristen Field, summa cum laude. Christos Kokolis. Kyle Porter. Carlos Hernandez, summa cum laude. Ellie Ha. Roshan Lath. Andrew Chan. Yedidia. Alex Alex Yedidia, summa cum laude. Shranya Devarakonda, summa cum laude. Kat Rich, magna cum laude. Shannon Salazzo. Got it. Amelia Cunningham, summa cum laude. Benjamin Almazan, cum laude. Okay. Kenna Heim, cum laude. Kayla Gator, magna cum laude. Hello. Kai Cleary, magna cum laude. Okay. Ethan Del Valle, cum laude.
Brittany Duarte.
Okay. Brittany Duarte, cum laude. Ready? Schultz. Melanie Schultz. Christopher Toto, summa cum laude. Garnacha. Julia Garnacha, summa cum laude. Nicholas Del Rosso, summa cum laude. Don't say it? Okay. Nathan Kimmick. Got it. Tyler Brown. Dontuono. Anthony Dontuono. Jenna Manalastas, cum laude. Shang Louis. Arun Felix. Thomas Leach, summa cum laude.
Anand Nair.
Say it again.
Anand Nair.
Anand Nider.
Thank you.
Piece of paper. Hello. You want the middle name?
No.
Okay. Solomon Tyson, cum laude. Do you need something? Okay. Joshua Singer. Dinning. Catherine Dinning, summa cum laude. Jordan Beckman. Hi. Michelle Kim, magna cum laude. The following students are receiving a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater. Thank you. Hannah Coleman, cum laude. Zoe Reed, magna cum laude. Hirschfield. Julia Hirschfield, summa cum laude. Ashavari Bhattacharya. Got it. Jacqueline Valandi, cum laude. Got it. Amy Harris, magna cum laude. Meghana Kumar, summa cum laude. Megan Moynihan, cum laude. Emily Maltone, summa cum laude. Hazel Arminante, magna cum laude. Thanks. Robert Hill, summa cum laude. Eleanor Perrin Demand, summa cum laude.
Madeline Fox.
Got it. Madeline Fox, summa cum laude. Jaquan Span. You got it. Ananda Barnes, cum laude. Ready? Jillian Mastillo, summa cum laude. Okay, Janik. Jacob Janik. Maya? Okay. Maya Strauss, summa cum laude. Reyes? Liv Reyes, magna cum laude.
Maya Ramdale.
Okay. Maya Ramdale, summa cum laude. Okay. Annie Jandoli. Hello, Elia. Elia Rastolder, summa cum laude. Justine Torres. Yes. Carol Young, summa cum laude, Honors College. Levy? Okay. Benjamin Levy, summa cum laude. Tegan Morris. Bailey Gregory. Jack Cregan? Yep. Jack Cregan. Louis Mager. Okay. Louis Mardiello, summa cum laude. Robin Arneson, magna cum laude. Isabella? Izzy? Izzy DeFleece, magna cum laude. Jordan Howe. Jordan Howe, cum laude. In.
It is now my great honor to recognize those students from the Mason Gross School of the Arts who have completed their work towards Masters of Fine Arts, Masters of Music, and Masters of Dance Education. I would also like to congratulate our Master of Arts candidates whose degrees will be conferred by the School of Graduate Studies. These names will also be read by Dean Sanangels.
Master of Fine Arts and Design, Anukriti Kaushik, Asam Kalawa, Yashawn Hu, Peyton Christopher Chang. Chi Yu Jung. The following students are receiving a Master of Fine Arts in Visual Arts. Nilo Goldfarb Cartwright. Graham Krenz. Jarman. Andrew David Jarman. Jake Hamilton Perrin. Nate Milstein. Shiva Adanki. Emma Marie Berry. Jules Chimes Garter. Jules Chimes Garter. Terrell Halsey. Ariana Gabrielle Ruker. The following students are receiving a Master of Education in Dance. Isabella Sessa. Lily Malacone. Camille Price. Ariana Montero. Got it. The following students are receiving a Master of Music in Music. Matthew Verana. Cassidy O'Donnell. Carrie Thompson.
Alexander Ayala Berrios.
Okay. Alexander Ayala Barrios. Michael Price. Michael Price. Ivana Cuesta Gonzalez. Leidner. Jeff. Jeff Leidner. Elliot Wells is receiving a Master's of Music and a Master's of Arts.
Next, I would like to recognize the success of our students graduating with the Artist Diploma. These names will be read by Stephanie Cronenberg, Interim Associate Dean for Academic Affairs.
Is it Roush? Yeah. Dylan Roush, Artist Diploma in Opera. Major Professor Billy Burling. Oh, that's it.
I would like to next recognize the success of our Doctor of Music Arts students. The names will also be read by Dean Cronenberg. They will be hooded by Robert Groman, Coordinator of Graduate Studies and Assistant Teaching Professor, and Corinna Brooke, Teaching Instructor, both from the Department of Music.
Wenting Yu, Doctor of Musical Arts and Piano Performance, Major Professor Vladimir Yarovek. Jindu. Jindu, Doctor of Musical Arts and Piano Performance, Major Professor Daniel Epstein. Edie Yao, Doctor of Musical Arts and Piano Performance, Major Professor John Perry. Yi Won Jun, Doctor of Musical Arts and Voice Performance, Major Professor Judith Nicosia. Lauren Curnow, Doctor of Musical Arts and Voice Performance, Major Professor Eduardo Charma. Anastasia Dedick, Doctor of Musical Arts and Piano Performance, Major Professor Daniel Epstein. Suji An Adele, Doctor of Musical Arts in Violin Performance, Major Professor Todd Phillips. Samuel Hantz, Doctor of Musical Arts in Trumpet Performance, Major Professor John Shepard. Michael Avangaliano, Doctor of Musical Arts in Orchestral Conducting, Major Professor Kynan Johns. Jared Apple, Doctor of Musical Arts in Saxophone Performance, Major Professor Paul Cohen. Diana Kim, Doctor of Musical Arts in Violin Performance, Major Professor Todd Phillips. Si-Young Lee, Doctor of Musical Arts in Percussion Performance, Major Professor Joe Tompkins. Yeji Kim, Doctor of Musical Arts in Violin Performance, Major Professor Todd Phillips. Ji-Sun Oh, Doctor of Musical Arts in Horn Performance, Major Professor Leilani Sterrett. Jihei Shin, Doctor of Musical Arts in Piano Performance, Major Professor Robert Groman.
And now, by way of conclusion, let us congratulate all of today's degree recipients. I would like to now present Kai Cleary, who will lead a student choir in the singing of the alma mater. Words can be found on page 3 of your program. Oh, no, facing them. Oh, they should be. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I don't have a low F right now.
From far and near we came to Rutgers, and resolved to learn all that we can. And so we settled down in that noisy college town, on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. For has she not stood since the time of the flood, on the banks of the old Raritan? Then sing aloud to alma mater, and keep the scarlet in the van. For with her motto high, Rutgers' name shall never die, on the banks of the old Raritan. On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. Or has she not stood since the time of the flood, on the banks of the old Raritan? On the banks of the old Raritan, my friends, where old Rutgers evermore shall stand. Or has she not since the time of the flood, on the banks of the old Raritan?
Thank you so much. As we bring this 50th convocation of Mason Gross School of Arts to a close, I hope you will join us for a reception that will take place immediately after this in Civic Square building lobby. The recessional will be played by the Rutgers Scarlet Knights trombones under the direction of Professor Conrad Herwig. I would like to thank the ensemble for its musical offerings this afternoon. also want to take a moment to thank everyone who's had a hand in putting together this afternoon ceremony. Most of all, Heather Brito and Krista Schnatter. I also want to thank all our faculty and staff for their hard work in helping our graduates reach this point. But most of all, I want to thank all of you for being here and for the countless ways in which you have nurtured and supported our graduates along their journey. Please remain seated until the faculty and students have filed out of the hall. And now, to the graduates. Remember to be kind to yourself and to the world around you. Artists are more important than ever as we need you to bring art into this world to help us find peace, joy, healing, and compassion, something that artists excel at doing. And remember the Rutgers Guarantee and take with you the pride of accomplishment that comes from being a graduate of the Mason Gross. Again, congratulations, Mason Gross, class of 2026.